you're all pioneers in your trade. I mean, it's really amazing to sit with you all and learn about what you've done. But how do you build a community from scratch? I mean, like, do you have friends? You just start small, it grows. Like, how do you go about like creating and continuing, like you said, this community of, friends, and then I guess more people that will eventually attend your events?
For me, I started small. And it was my passion just to bring people together. And let's say I started with 50 people, and then the next time it might have been 60, and then 100, and then
as you can see.
I just kept, and it was very personal. So I was personally inviting people out. Oh, why don't you get together? Why don't you come hear the music that you like to hear? Like everyone that came out kind of had the same music. They wanted to hear the same music. That was their commonality.
Right, and for you it was hip hop.
It was hip hop.
There wasn't hip hop in Toronto.
No, not at my time.
Really?
There was no
so
hip-hop.
what were people listening to?
It was just only reggae and soca, because we have a very large Caribbean community, or house music.
Wow.
Hip hop wasn't really a thing in Toronto. And I grew up outside of Toronto in another city in Canada.
So how did you?
That was my hip hop influence.
So did you bring DJs that you knew that were playing hip hop, or did you?
I actually found the DJs that only played hip hop.
Nice.
Because they didn't know where to play either.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole hip hop scene in Toronto,
huge hip hop scene now.
And but you're totally tapped in from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know if my mic's on, but I really love this question. And when you shared it with us, I really reflected on it and thought that a community is really never started from scratch, actually. It just goes from something that is organic to intentional. Exactly. So, like Saudi's the perfect example, right? We've always had an underground scene. There's been talent around, but everyone was kind of working in silos. And the community is being built now because there is infrastructure being put in place to actually build these spaces for people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Hello? Yeah. So, it's exactly like you said. The community already existed. And there's actually someone in the audience who was at the very first event that we did as well.
Yeah.
And they were kind of just there.
So was it like you knew
engaged,
that there was something and then you just tapped, it was like the right moment, right time, right place?
Don't know how, it's not like it's that visionary. It's kind of just like, let's do this, right? And then I think the key is when you realize that you've picked up on something, you just don't want to stop.
Right.
And everyone comes back and so on. And then it starts building. But they were already there in a house party, on a couch here, like different houses. And it's just like, let's do this.
Bring them together.
Let's engage.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
And in our experience, building the community is the result of all the endeavors that took place, and the result of a lot of different things that are happening that pour into building a community. And it has a lot of different values to it, from communication to curating the correct crowd for the correct party. Right. You don't want the wrong crowd for a wrong party, because things are gonna clash. Either the party is not gonna pick up, or the people who are coming for the wrong reason are not gonna enjoy their time, which will reflect on other people who want to enjoy their time.
Right.
Plus, it has to do a lot with communication, how you're communicating your concept and to who you are communicating this concept, and the consistency of this communication. So it has a lot of different factors that need to work together in order to create a community. But as Tanya said, Saudi is a perfect example for building communities. Now, we're talking about music events in particular. So Saudi is a perfect example, because for way too many years the communities were there, but they were underground and like kind of to each his own. But now that we crossed the underground level.
Well, you're obviously not underground if you're talking about it right now. Everyone knows now.
We reached
sprouting off the ground.
We reached the ground level. Communities are starting to actually be communicated better and be formed a little bit better, and it's like way too cool, because all of a sudden many different communities emerged, and this created really good diversity in the music scene that we have here, and this is promising for the time to come in this
Right.
industry.
Excellent.
And actually, you hit the nail on the head. Like consistency is the actual key to it all, and it goes two ways. That consistency, right? It's about us as organizers constantly providing these spaces, and then also our audience also committing to that space as well.
This is the communication that we're trying to talk about. It can go without even speaking a word.
Right.
We can communicate on that level without talking to each other. It's
Right.
by curation and by the type of experiences that the attendees or guests or crowd or whatever you want to call them are getting from whatever we're organizing.